Hi everyone, welcome to the Exampreptool. So in this lecture we will try to understand some basic fundamental topics which are really essential for understanding the database management system concepts. Okay. Now let us understand the practical insights of the database management systems. Okay. What is the agenda for the today's lecture? So in this lecture we will try to understand what exactly the data and what exactly the information, the key differences between them and some real-time use cases. Okay. At the end of this lecture, we will try to understand how the raw data is transformed into the meaningful information. Let's get started. Okay. So before we start the actual content, I will encourage you to watch and listen actively till the last moment, and feel free to note down the running notes and some important points. All right. So you all know that we have launched a new program which is industry ready course on DSA and Oracle database with a real-time project, right? So what are the modules involved in this course? Data structures and algorithms along with the problem solving, and also Oracle database with real-time project. Here you will be learning directly from the working professionals, and DSA will be taken care by the Reddy sir along with some other people, and I will be covering the database part, Oracle database part, including the project. All right. See, industry is always looking for the skilled professionals, right? You already have idea about that. So let me tell you one thing clearly. Whenever you are attending the any product-based company interviews or any interviews, they will be testing your problem-solving ability or not, right? Data structures and algorithm. Along with that, they will be testing the skills that you are included in your resume, right? Whatever may be the skill set, right? So let me ask you the question. Suppose let's say you are very good at problem solving, DSA. DSA is alone is enough for cracking the product-based companies, right? You are very good at DSA and you don't have any technical skill set along with that. So is that relevant for the industry? Let me ask you the question in a different way. You are very good at technical skills and you don't have any good problem solving ability. So will you be able to crack the interview? So that is why we are coming up with a very unique course which will be giving you not only the problem solving skills, we are also going to provide you the very good strong technical skill set with respect to the Oracle databases, including the real-time project. The batch is going to start on 16th March, and also as a launching offer we will be providing you 50% off on all courses, and here we have only limited seats. Please try to utilize it. I believe that you have completed your GATE exam and you may be in your third year, or maybe you'll maybe in fourth year of your academics. So I believe you have an ample amount of time. We are going to complete this course within 3 to 4 months. So whatever the time that you have, try to utilize it very intelligently. So from our side, so we are going to provide so whatever required for jobs, not only for cracking the interviews, after getting the job. So how do you survive in the industry? Are you getting what I'm saying? After getting the job, how to survive in the industry? How to create a dependency in the project? Are you getting? How to create a dependency in the project? Right. So in this course, so we are not only providing you the technical skills. Okay. So we are making you for the job ready. So once you complete this course, you will be ready to work on the project directly. Okay. So I would say it is a ready to deploy model. Okay, ready to deploy. So once you work on the projects and the real-time scenarios, whatever we are going to provide, so you can directly work on the project without any further technical training in companies also. So you will be working completely on the real-time scenarios. It is not just like other courses, theory, covering the theory and living like that. No. So we are going to cover some real-time use cases along with the project also similar to the exactly the industry, how you are going to work. Similarly, we will be assigning you some tasks, you have to complete that task. Along with that, we will be providing you the interview questions and answers which are asked in the interviews. Along with that, we are going to take the mock interviews also, people who are doing really good and who are dedicated, who are really serious about the career. Okay, all right. So if you are ready for the challenge, let's start the journey. So what are the course highlights? So the here some of the points are listed out. Let me read out for you. So you will be working on the data structures and algorithms problems, and also SQL and PLSQL from very basic level to the advanced level. In the PLSQL, we will be covering lot of optimization techniques along with the SQL also. How to write the efficient queries, right? And real-time project, we will be working on either BFSI domain or some e-commerce related domain we will take up for the project. And I will assign some task in such a way that so you not only complete the writing the SQL queries, but you should know how to automate that queries and how to generate the reports automatically, how to monitor the database activities. So those all are we are going to cover as part of this course. And also, if you are interested for the writing some certification exams, we will be providing you the necessary materials for that if you are really interested. And in case if you are the person who is having the career gap, so we will be giving you lot of assignments and we will be guiding you properly. We will give roadmaps to you. We will monitor you properly. It will be really useful not only for the fresher and career gap people, and also people who wanted to enter into the IT from any background, from non-IT to IT. If you want to enter, then definitely this is the perfect course for you, right? After completing the course, you should be building some portfolio to showcase your expertise, whatever the project that you did. So whatever the technical skills you have to build a portfolio on your name. Okay, all right. So if you have any doubts related to the course, you can reach out to us. This is the Reddy sir number and this is my number. You can reach out to us. We will be providing the accurate information to you. If you have any doubts, please reach out to us. And I would recommend everybody to utilize this opportunity and try to build some project before coming out of your academics, whether maybe you are in third year or fourth year. So try to utilize and build some project and try to become job ready. If you have any doubt, please reach out to us. We'll provide more information to you. And like I said, we have very limited seats. Try to reach out to us, try to enroll as soon as possible. All right. So now here, so after completing this course, what kind of roles you are eligible, right? So whenever you are learning anything, you should understand what kind of roles I can target for, right? How it will be useful for me. You should question yourself before learning anything, right? So you can become a database developer, and you can become a data analyst, business analyst. And also this course is really important for data engineer and data scientist position also, right? So without data, nothing, no project is there without data, without handling the data. You may be having idea, right? We are in the era of data driven world. So if data is not there, you can't do anything, no work, no project, you can't handle anything. So database is very very important. This is a evergreen course, I mean like evergreen topic, I would say. Without this topic there won't be anything in the projects, real world project, no project. So that is why I'm saying, if you want to get placed in the product based companies or good companies, and if you want to become a job ready, this is the golden chance for you. Don't wait, enroll now, and before filling the seats. Okay. All right, now we will enter into the subject. So what exactly the data means? Can you tell me? You've seen already data definitions and everything, right? But we will learn more clearly. So I'll give more clarity about the data and information. So before starting, so let me tell me, so what exactly the data means? Can you answer me? Right, you have seen already all these definitions, right, in your academics. Right, I would say data is a known facts or raw facts, or maybe observations about a certain entity could be anything. If you talk about the banking related, if you do any transaction, the data will, right, get generated. And if you do any shopping, data will get generated, right? Entity could be anything here. You can talk about the person or employee, or maybe transaction, anything. Okay. And also one more important thing is, data is always in an unprocessed format, that is unorganized way, right? One more important thing is, data doesn't have any meaning at all. We will see practically what does that mean, right? So unorganized fact doesn't have any meaning, no context at all. Okay, are you getting what I'm saying? Unorganized data are raw facts, or maybe the observations that you have collected from the various sources, doesn't have any meaning. When it doesn't have any meaning, how can you understand it, right? That is what we are going to see exactly in this lecture. Okay. And also we can say that data can be categorized into the structured and unstructured, and also sometimes you can call it as a semi structured also. Okay, let's see. So structured data always have a proper predefined format. You have a very well format defined for the storing the structured data, whereas for the unstructured data you don't have any predefined format, fixed format is not there. Are you getting? Now question for you. Okay, can you think of an example, structured and unstructured data from your daily life? Okay, let me repeat once again. Can you think of an examples of structured and unstructured data from your daily life? Please comment your answer. All right, so we will see the example now. Okay, we will see the example now. I have a data with me. Data contains four columns. Okay, four columns, right? Can you identify what this data represent? Can you identify what this data represent? What is this data is all about? First column, second column, third column, fourth column. Can you tell me? First columns you are storing some strings, right? Second and third column you are storing some integer numbers. Fourth column, it is looking like a date column, but I would say it is a door number. right? Different people may be having a different answers, right? Now look, take a look at this table. Take a look at this table. So it is unorganized data, right? It is unorganized data. That means there is no meaning, proper meaning is not there. By looking at the data, you are not able to give an answer. Are you getting? Without a context, if I don't give the context of the data, if I don't tell the meaning of the data, what is this data is all about, how can you give an answer, right? You can't give any proper answer. It is really challenging to tell whether this rows represent, right, belong to what. So let me ask you few questions again, okay, follow up questions. So looking at this unorganized data, can we identify the domain of this particular data, right? Can you answer? Can you tell me whose information you are talking about? Whose information does this data represent, right? I'll give you options also. Can you tell me? Right. Now the business domain. Tell me the business domain of this data. Whether you are talking about the e-commerce data or banking or hospital space or insurance domain, IT companies related data, hospital data, which data you are talking about? What is the domain of the data? Think. Okay, fine. I'll go. We'll move to the next question. So now tell me, at least tell me now, whose information you are talking about? Whose data is all this about? Are you talking about the employee of an organization? Are doctors or patients in an hospital? Are students data? Are teachers data? Are insurance premium holders data? Are bank account holders data? Please think properly. Through this course, we don't want to teach the basic fundamentals that you have seen already in your academics in a single line definition. What is data and information? So that is why we are coming up with this course uniquely. We were designed. We wanted to give them some practical aspect of the subject. Now please answer me. So I have given the options. I asked the questions and I given options also. So I am saying this is unorganized data, and tell me. So what is the domain of the data and whose data is all about, right? Please take your time and please answer me. Comment down. Right. It is really challenging, right? You can't give an exact answer. Why? It is unorganized. There is no proper data. I mean, data, you have a data, but there is no further information, right? So when you don't have a context, when you don't have a properly organized data or meaningful data, how can you give an answer, right? I can understand. So since it is a raw data, you can't give any information, any answer to these questions, right? Even if you ask to the experienced professionals also, they will say no. So we want more information. Please, can you give the more information about this particular data, raw data? So that is why you also need to ask question saying that, so data you have given, but there is no meaning for the data. Please provide more information, more documents. Give over the more documents about this raw data, so that we can answer this, right? In industry also, whenever you are working, when you don't understand any requirement about any activity or any task, you should always reach out to the respective person, whether it could be a team leader or whether it could be a senior developer or a manager, whoever assigned the task to you. You need to get a more information, more data about the task. Then only you can proceed further and analyze, and you can develop and write a code, right? Now come back to this question. So That is what we have seen, right? Since it is a data is an organized format, we can't determine or we can't give an exact answer to these questions, right? Let's move ahead and understand further. Okay, let me take one particular record from the given data and understand. Okay, now see that what we are saying here, data doesn't give clarity about the object or context of the business. That is what we have seen, right? You have a data but you are not able to give an answer, right? Here he see, observe here carefully what they are saying here. Data doesn't give clarity about the object or context of the business. Okay, what is the object here? It is just collection of properties. Suppose let's say if you take an employee, so what are the properties of an employee? Can you say? Employee name, employee number, employee id, employee salary, employee phone number, employee address. There are so many things will come into picture, right? Okay, let's see this example. Okay, now I have a one particular record taken from the raw data. Can you tell me exactly what the first column is talking about? First column only. Okay, king is there, king, right? Can you tell me what is this all about? Right. So name king could be anything, right? The maybe person name, maybe company's name, or maybe brand name, or maybe nickname, right? It's a lot of confusion, right? Lot of confusion. So if you have a data like this, will you be able to take any decisions with respect to the your business? Think. You have a business organization. Now you wanted to take some decision based on some certain data. A data is, and data, raw data, whatever you have, observe carefully, data that whatever you have, there is no context, there is no meaning. With the meaningless data, would you be able to take any decisions with respect to the organization? That is what my question. So now I am saying there is a one record and the first column king is there. So the king appears to be name, but whose name it is? You can't even say. If assume if it is a name, then whose name it is? Your name, friend name, my name, nickname, or some brand name, anything, right? That is why I'm saying one of the fundamental basic property of data is that it can't provide exact clarity about the system or object of the business. System is here means you try to understand is some software application or maybe some product. Okay, context to context it will change, but let us assume system means here a software product or maybe the software application. Okay, now you understood that data doesn't give any clarity about the system or object of the business. Now what is the solution for this? How do you handle this kind of situation? How do you think that business organizations handle this kind of challenges? What is the solution? Tell me. Very, very important. This is where majority of the roles the people are working on, these kind of roles only. Okay, these kind of activities regularly some people are working on. What is the simple solution? Right, I am saying data doesn't have meaning, data doesn't have meaning, data doesn't have context. Now if I add the context, if I add the meaning to the data, so then will you be able to take a decisions for the business organization? Right, if I have a meaningful data, suppose let's say I would say if king is the name, and second one whatever integer number is there, that is a department number, and 5500 is a salary, and the next one is a hire date. Okay, right, are you able to understand now? If I add a context to the data, so then it will really useful for taking the business decisions, right? That is what is the solution? You have to convert this raw data into the meaningful information. or meaningful data. Okay, you have to add meaning to this raw data. And who will add this meaning and everything, context and everything? That is again one more question. Can you tell me who will add a meaning to this raw data? Who will convert this raw data into the meaningful information? That is the one more question. Can you tell me? Try to think who will do. Yes, this is the responsibility of the developer who is working in the project, who is dealing with the data, right? It may be the database developer, or it may be the data analyst, it may be the business analyst. He has to take the data, understand the data, and analyze the data, and he has to provide proper information to the developers. He has to give the context to this raw data, and then he has to transform into the organized format. Okay, he has to organize the data properly so that you can take any kind of business decisions. Okay, it is the responsibility of the developer, whoever is working there. It may be the database developer, data analyst, business analyst, whoever may be dealing with the data. Are you getting? Are you understanding what I'm saying? If you want, you can take a screenshot, or if you want, you can take a notes properly, right? All right, we'll move further and I'll understand. Okay, what exactly information meaning? Tell me. Now you have seen so much, we have talked about data, right? And we have given hint also, right? So now tell me, you already understood little bit, I believe. So what exactly the information means? What exactly information meaning? You have a raw data, you have a raw data. If you add a context, or if you add a meaning to the raw data, what will happen? It will become a information. That's it, simple, right? That is what we will be seeing here. Okay, information is a processed and organized and meaningful data. Okay, try to understand the terminology. Information is a processed, organized and meaningful data. Are you getting? Yes. Or you can say simply insights derived from the data. That is also you can say. Okay, right, insights derived from the data. Now what is this useful? How does this data is this information useful to you? Tell me. That is what we have talked in the previous slide, right? If you have a processed data, if you have a meaningful data, okay, if you have information, I would say, if you have information with you, so definitely it will be really helpful for the business organizations or maybe the individuals to make a proper decisions very effectively. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now see, in a real time cases, like how this information, using this information, how we are solving some real world problems. Okay, see, what are the key features of the data? Can you tell me what are the key features of the data? That from the above 3 points, can you tell me 2 features? It is having a meaning, right? It is having a context. That is one of the important feature here. Contextualized, that is the meaning. Okay, and useful for business, taking the business decisions. Okay, decision making. Some examples we will see. Now can you tell me from your side some example of information with respect to the real time, that the daily that we use? Yes, you can take a Google Maps map examples. Okay, now you are saying information is meaningful and it is supporting for better decision making. Now you are claiming that information with the help of the information you can take the better decisions, right? Now I'm asking you to take one example. Maybe you can take the Google Maps. Can you tell me how the information, or maybe using the data, how you are taking the better decisions? How maybe Google people are taking the better decisions, how the Google Maps able to provide some valuable information to you. Just take an example and tell me the answer. Now let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you. Google Map, it is taking the raw locations data. Okay, raw location data. Carefully listen. Okay, it is taking the raw locations data and processing the raw locations data, processing the raw location data to provide a better traffic predictions, to provide a better traffic predictions, and also it is providing the optimal routes also, right? Sometimes you will find alternative routes also, right? That is the information. Okay, traffic prediction and optimal routes, right? And alternative routes, right? And also one more, two more examples I have given in the last 2 points. If you observe carefully, I'm talking about the some e-commerce business where raw sales data is there. Okay, raw sales data is there. And if you have a meaningful information, right, if you process that raw sales data, then what you will understand with respect to the business, you can consider. Okay, with respect to the business, if you process the raw sales data, you can understand what is the best selling product, right? Isn't it? And what are the peak shopping hours? Am I making sense? Are you able to understand? Right, if you process the raw sales data, then what will happen? From that raw sales data, it will become information. Using that information, you are deriving the some insights from it. Okay, what are that? The best selling products and the peak shopping hours, right? That is why I would say, if you have a quality data which is information with you, it will really useful for the some of the domains like healthcare. Okay, so let's say if you have a patient data, if you properly analyze that process, that patient's data, if you process that patient data properly, it will become easy to diagnose the diseases, and I mean, like, to give the more suggestions, right, related to the treatments and whatever maybe, right? I hope you are understanding what I am saying. Let me repeat once again the definition. Okay, what is the data? Tell me. Collection of raw facts or collection of facts, known facts, or maybe the observations, which is in an unorganized format. Okay, which is often unprocessed. Okay, that is what the definition of the data. Okay, and then it comes to the information. What we are saying here, information is a processed, organized and meaningful data, right? Are insights derived from the data. In a more technical terminology, if you can say simply, okay, if you have a processed data, that is information, that will be really useful for business organizations to take the, tell me, to take the decisions very effectively. Okay, I hope you are getting what I am saying. So we will move ahead and understand the more examples related to the information. Okay, now this is the other examples we have. There are some more examples are there. Try to understand this one. If you understand this slide properly, then you will get more information, more knowledge you will get out of this slide, definitely. So let us observe some integer number. Okay, if I tell you 205, then what you will say? It could mean anything, right? It would be anything, it could be anything, right? But if I add a context, or if I add a meaning to this integer number, so then you will understand exactly what I'm talking about, right? Are you getting what I'm saying? If I tell you 205 integer number, so it could mean anything, right? But if I add context to the 205, right, then you will easily understand what I am talking about. What is the context of that 205? Okay, Let us see. What is 205? Basically, if I say 205, you will ask me, what is 205? Then if I say 205 is a classroom number, then it is having a clear meaning, right? So you can call it as an information. So simply, initially when I am just saying the integer number, which is a raw data. Raw data is 205. Now I am adding the meaning and I am telling you information. See, 205 is a classroom number in building number A. It has a clear meaning. It has got a clear meaning, right? Let us move to the next example. Okay, now see here. Now directly I'm saying I have some raw data. Okay, raw data I given you. Okay, now you tell me the information with respect to this raw data. 1997 1 million. Okay, and 1998 2 million. Okay, what is that? Tell me the information related to this one. Right, the people who knows the context about that particular raw data, they only can give the answer to this question. Okay, otherwise I have to give the context to it, then only you will be able to answer, right? Now say simply you can say what the revenue is increased by 1 million from 1997 to 1998. Now it has a clear meaning, right? I hope you are understanding what I am saying here. Now let's move ahead and understand the one more example, one more raw data. So I am saying simply exam scores of 500 students. Exam scores of 500 students. Okay, but if I say this one information, okay, if I say average math score is 90%, indicating the what strong performance, it is having a clear meaning. Okay, now by observing all the above points, what you can say? Tell me. Information is a data with a added meaning. Okay, if you add a context or if you add a meaning to the data, then it will become information. Okay, so that is what. So in this point, what is saying? If you, right, if you process the data, definitely it will increases the knowledge of the person whoever is using it. Now earlier I just asked you 1997 and 1 million and 1998 and 2 million. You don't have any information. After processing and I given information to you, the revenue is increased by 1 million from 1997 to 1998. Then what will happen? You are able to understand, your knowledge is able to increase with respect to that particular data, right? Isn't it? Right. Please take a screenshot if you want before moving to the next slide. Okay, now in the previous slide, at the first slide, you have seen that some data, so some raw data. So we are talking about we are telling that there is no information, there is no meaning, and there is no context to this particular raw data, that, right? Whatever we have seen, right? Now let us understand how can you convert that particular raw data into the meaningful information, right? Tell me, how can you add a meaning to this particular raw data? Now assume you are a data analyst or maybe the database developer or maybe the business analyst, any of the role. Now you have already little bit of aware about the business domain that the raw data is all about. Okay. Now you got this data from the client. Now you have to add a meaning to this particular one before it hand over to the developers, right? Now you don't have any label to this particular data, right? Now see here. Now if I add the context to this same data, then what will happen? It will become information, right? Right, now see here. Now see here how I am converting this raw data into the information. Slowly observe carefully. Now I am adding a label to this particular data. Carefully observe. Now can you tell me, are you able to understand this data carefully? Clearly observe. No, before it was a raw data. Now I added a labels to this particular data, which is name, department, salary, and hire date. Are you able to understand the data now? If somebody asks you what is the salary of the so and so employee, so and so person, are you able to tell? What is the hire date of the this particular employee? What is the department of this employee? Are you able to give an answer? Right? Are you can able to answer now? But again, one more question: whose data is all about? Okay, whose data is all about? Right? What is the domain again? Same question, right? I'm just extending. Okay, now if I say this one, this is an employee information, this is an employee information related to the some organization. Now you have clear idea, right? Now you are getting that little bit. Are you able to understand how I am converting the raw data into the meaningful information? Now which organization, again one more question, and what is the place of that organization? Now see here, if I say like this data is belong to the organization called Exampreptool, and the place is Amaravati. Now it has got clear meaning or not? Tell me. Are you getting what I am saying? Now again question here. Okay, again one more question here. After adding the labels, salary, department, hire date and all, it is becomes so easier to understand, right? Now after introducing the additional details such as the place and the organization, and also if I add a country, so then it will become more meaningful, more context. It will increase the context of the data, right? Or meaning of the data. That you can say that is the quality of the data, right? It will provide a more clarity. But there is a one problem here. Suppose let's assume you are working with the international clients. You are working with the international clients. Understand carefully. You are working with the international clients. Okay. Now they are asking where is the Amaravati? You are saying this data is belong to the place called Amaravati, and where is the Amaravati? The question, right? He will confuse basically. He will search the Google Amaravati, right? But unfortunately, the place called Amaravati exists in the multiple states. Multiple states. It is also available in Andhra Pradesh. It is also available in the Maharashtra. But which place you are exactly talking about? Is it confusing or not? It is ambiguous or not? Yes, data is having ambiguity, right? Confusion. How do you eliminate this confusion? Again, tell me. Answer me. How do you eliminate this ambiguity? How do you eliminate this confusion? Come on. So if you have any kind of noise in the data before doing anything, whether you maybe the working is in a data scientist roles, or maybe the data analyst roles, database developer roles, or maybe the any kind of data roles, it is your responsibility to get the quality data. If quality of the data is not there, it is your responsibility to make that data in a more proper way. You have to clean the noise, you have to clean the outliers, remove the outliers from the data. Don't think that only data scientist is doing the data analysis related things under. It has been there since long back. Database developers are doing that. That is why the database related technologies, if you learn, that will be evergreen career, I would say. It will open a multiple dimensions to you. Are you getting what I'm saying? It will open a multiple doors to you. You can go to the data analyst role, business analyst role, data scientist related roles. Try to master in a database technologies. Okay. I personally say that you try to learn the one relational databases, which is Oracle, then it will become very easier for you to work in the other relational databases. It's a matter of 1 week. That's it. Trust me. Now let me see. Let me help you with the again the question. Okay, how do you eliminate this confusion? Okay, Amaravati is exist in the two different state, two different places. How do you eliminate this confusion to the client or maybe the your colleague, right? Let me add again one more label to you, this data. Now see here, now see here. So I am saying the company, the organization called Exampreptool, which is available in the Amaravati state or city, and the state is Andhra Pradesh and the country is India. This data has got clear meaning, right? The crystal clear, right? If you have the data related to clarity, clear data with you, so you can take a better decisions. That is why I'm telling, try to understand carefully, okay, before doing anything, any task. With related to this topic in data and information, we have one assignment designed for you, especially for this kind of activity. So we will see at the end of this module, right? So now you have seen the data and information, right? Now can you tell me the what are the differences between the data and information? Now you already seen, I am saying the data doesn't have meaning, data doesn't have meaning, okay, and information has got a meaning, proper meaning, right? And what is the next thing? Context. That is what, for the data there is no context, and for the information it has got a clear context, clear meaning. Okay, so data, what is the definition? You can say raw and unprocessed fact in a simple terminology. Okay, and information is what? Processed and a meaningful data. And what is the basic purpose of data and information? Can you tell me? So now using the data, anyway you can't do anything, you can't take a decisions properly because there is a lot of confusions, a lot of things involved in it, right? It is very complex to take the decisions, but whereas using the information you can able to take the decisions very properly, very effectively. Okay, what is the purpose of data? It is just simply you can collect and store in somewhere in your databases, and you, on top of that, you need to perform lot of analysis, lot of validations, and you have to convert into the meaningful information or information. Then on top of the information you can do any work, any activity. Okay, what is the example of the data and information? Can you tell me? Here simply we are talking about a Netflix. Okay, user clicks on the Netflix. If I say user clicks on the Netflix, what does that mean? Netflix contains so many things, so many shows, so many things, right? But you are talking about a clicks. What does that mean? But if I say popularity ranking of the shows and movies, it has got a meaning or not? Right? Good. The same thing we are talking about in a diagrammatical format. You can see raw data. It could be anything: figures, facts, or observations. Raw facts, statistics related to something. After processing, it will becoming information. Right? So while processing, definitely there will be a logic involved. Okay, understand carefully. So not just converting into the information. Earlier I have seen that I have added a labels, and after adding a labels, then it become a information. But that is the only thing that you will do while converting the raw data into the information. Based on the domain or based on the context of the business, you will be writing some business logics or validations, and then you are converting into the information. Try to understand carefully. Based on the business that you are working in, based on the domain, you will be writing some business logics, some validations, or some programs. Okay, some programs. Using that program, you will be converting raw data into the information. When you have information, then it will be really useful for taking any kind of business related decisions. Okay, getting? All right, let's move ahead and understand. Yes, now you are saying about a lot of, we have talked about lot more about the data and information, right? But can you tell me the fundamental question if I ask you, like, how does data gets generated, right? Question is meaningful or not? How does data gets generated? Can you tell me? You are generating the daily data, right? In Instagram, the kind of likes that you do, the kind of reels that you see. So whenever you are doing this activity, every time data will be getting generated, right? True or not? Right? Now see here. So whenever, see, now we are in the digital age, right? Digital age, and also we are in the era of data driven world. Agree? So whenever any business transaction will happen, okay, whenever any business transaction is happening, so the data gets generated, right? Anything, it could be anything. If you talk about the Amazon, it is handling the hundreds of orders for every second, millions of customers are there, millions of products are there. How does it is handling? So whenever any transaction related to the orders happens, then what will happen? Data gets generated, isn't it? Right, that is what I am saying. Everyday business activities are happening at a rapid pace, right? So that is leading to what? Generating of large volume of data, right? Are you getting what I'm saying? So whenever any business activities are happening, whenever any business transactions are happening, definitely some kind of data will be getting generated automatically. That is also in a very large volume if you consider the whole world's data. Very huge volume of data, right? All right, we'll move ahead and understand few things. Okay, let us understand data and information visually. Same thing again, I am just trying to revise in a visual format. Try to see here. Now you are saying that because of the daily business transactions from the different sources, you are trying to collect the data, or maybe data is getting generated and you are trying to collect the data, right? Agree? Tell me. So now this data, you know already, data, raw data, which is in unorganized or unstructured data, unorganized data, right? It has got no meaning, no context, right? But it is your responsibility as a data analyst or data developer or database developer to convert this into the meaningful data, which is the information, right? So data is getting from the various sources, right? Like social media and banking transaction or some logs. Okay, now while converting this raw data into the meaningful data, you need to understand that you need to write some business logics. Okay, you need to analyze and understand and analyze the data, and based on that you need to write a business logics, and you have to process it properly. You have to process it properly and then convert it into the information. Okay, information could be in any format. Okay, it may be in chart format, dashboard format, or anything, or normal table data. Okay, when you have information with you, it will become easy for you to take a business decisions. That is what we have seen so far. Okay, are you able to understand? Tell me, are you able to understand? Yes. Now these are the key points whatever we have seen. So I don't want to repeat the same points again. You please take the screenshot of this one. So whatever we have seen through the visualization, through the points in the previous slide, same thing I have just kept here for your revision purpose. Okay, but I have questions for you. Now this is the first question. Can you provide a few examples of data that you generate in your daily life? Are you getting? Can you provide few examples of data that you generate in your daily life? While doing the shopping, while traveling, in social media? We'll move to the next question. How do you explain the difference between the data and information to the someone who doesn't know about it? Right? If somebody asks you, non-computer science student is coming and asking you what is the data and what is the information, what is the difference between them? What do you say? Right? And the next very, very important questions. Why do you think data alone is not enough for business decision making? One, and what makes the information more valuable? Right? It is about the clarity, right? Simply, but I want you to answer these questions in the comment section. Okay, we will try to give exact answer. Okay, first you try to give me answer in the comment section. Okay. Let's see the next very important question. Can you think of a scenario where incorrect data could lead to the wrong information and effective and eventually ending up in taking the bad decisions, right? Can you think of a scenario where incorrect data could lead to wrong information and bad decision making, right? Please answer all these questions. Right. The first questions I'm giving answers. You can take a Meta, Facebook, or an Amazon, or maybe the Google search history, or maybe Netflix watch history, something like that. If you want, I give an answer also for the first question only. Now see, if you talk about the data, Meta, what is the raw data and what is the information is there, you can read it. And if you talk about the Amazon, what is the data and what is the information, Netflix and Google, and so on. So many examples like this. Okay. All right, we'll see the next thing. Now we will understand how the raw data is converted and everything. Okay, let us understand how the raw data will be validated and stored in the databases more clearly. The earlier slide, when we are seeing visually, we have just seen that. So we are going to understand and process and everything, right? And more elaborated way we will see. Okay, step by step. Because so why we are covering here, in a real-time project, there are some activities where you need to convert the raw data into the meaningful data by writing the program, very big program. So for that we are trying to give pointers. So that is why in starting slide itself, starting day itself, so we are trying to give some hint to you. Okay, some kind of help to you to do your project clearly. Okay, now let us understand. Now you know that the business organizations, whenever any transactions happening, transactions I mean anything. Okay, it could be purchasing something, or it could be paying some bill amount, or it could be anything. Okay, now whenever transactions are happening from the different sources, data is getting generated. Now once the data is getting generated, that is fine. The further is what? Data is getting generated, right? Now what is happening after getting generated? You have to store that data into somewhere, right? Where you are going to store? Tell me. Data can be generated in any format. It could be in Excel format, it could be some raw data, some .csv files, or maybe the text file. Okay, so data is in often an unprocessed format, right? Now using some business logic, or maybe you are going to store it in the databases. Initial filtration. Okay, initial, before actually doing the programmatically, maybe sometimes we can use the normal basic principles while loading the data into the databases. Okay, now data is getting generated, that you are going to store it in the databases. Okay, you are gathering from the diverse sources, different sources, right? Now how do you ensure the quality of the data? Can you tell me? How can you say that your data, whatever the data that you collected from the different sources, it is a quality data? There is no there is any program having clarity. Okay, all right, we'll move further and understand the next step. Okay, now I am saying that you are storing the data. Okay, while storing the data, you are validating the whatever the data that you have, right? You have to validate the data and you have to secure properly and store it in a database very effectively. That is the initial step that you are going to do as part of your work. You're getting. Next, what is the next step? You need to process the data. You need to write some business logics, right? You can't directly write the whatever that you want, right? You have to analyze what to write, what is the proper business logic to effectively getting insights from the data. You have to get some insights from the data. You have to derive some insights from the data, whatever there in the databases. For that, you need to take some decisions and you need to create some business requirement document, and you have to produce it to the developer so that they can write a program for you. Are you getting? So create some software requirement document or some business document, functionality document. Then, okay, you need to understand, developer has to, once you got a requirement document, you need to understand that, you need to analyze that, you need to write some business logic, some program for that. Okay, after getting that one, you have to clean the data. Okay, you have to clean unnecessary data. Okay, you need to analyze the data, understand, you have to write that, and you have to store it again back to the master tables, or maybe in the database itself some tables, master tables, I mean, imagine the important tables. Okay, so the initial tables that you are loading, let me give you more clarity. So initially you are loading in data into the database, right? Initially whenever you are storing, you will be loading in some temporary tables. In industry we call it as staging tables or temporary tables or intermediate tables. Okay, now after writing some business logics, you are loading that, or you are storing the data into the some master tables. Are you getting what I'm saying? You are storing that into the master tables. Once you store, then what will happen? That means you are storing the quality data, I mean like the information, right? So once you store the data into that databases, into the master tables, here the here majority of the work we again will start. Okay, in companies what will happen, there are teams called business intelligence people are there, or maybe data analysts are there, maybe data scientists are there. Okay, so whenever data is there, so they will be generating some reports, they will be generating some reports. Okay, in terms of dashboards or in terms of charts. Okay, more visual format. Are you getting? And they will be presenting it to the clients. Okay, here, so whenever there is a data is there in the business, okay, tables, master tables, there will be some other teams will be working, whether it could be a data warehousing related to a team, or maybe the database team, data scientist team, data analyst people, business intelligence people. They will be generating the data or reports using the data available in the master tables, and they will be presenting it to the clients. So when the clients have a more clarity, data quality, and more actionable data, then what will happen? It is leading to the what? The better decision making. Okay, eventually helpful for the business organizations. Are you getting what I'm saying? So this is what all about the information, data and information. Okay, I hope you understood whatever I covered in this particular lecture. So if you have any doubt, please reach out to us, we will try to help you. If you want the course related information, you can reach out to us, the numbers that given, we will try to give more accurate information to you. Okay, and also we will encourage you to share your learning journey in the LinkedIn. Please try to write in your own words whatever you learn, whatever the terminals, this new terminals that you have seen, right, during the lecture. In the basically in 1 hour lecture, if you are attending a normal gate related any of the course, so they will be covering the definitions of data and information in a 1 minute or 2 minute, right? But since it is a very practical course, so that's why we have elaborated more and given more insights about the data and information with respect to the practical real world, right? So kindly note whatever the important points that you learned during the lecture, write it in your own words, put it in LinkedIn, try to tag us. Okay, you have Exampreptool page also in LinkedIn, we have that. You can try to tag us so that we can help you more, okay, in terms of providing the notes or any kind of help or any suggestions if you want related to the career. Are you getting what I'm saying? So this will not only showcase your learning, okay, but also connect you with the right minded individuals and professionals in the field. LinkedIn, that is why I'm encouraging you to try to form a habit of writing the technical content in the LinkedIn. All right, please try to reach out to this number if you want to, if you have any doubts related to the course, or if you want a discount, if you are not able to pay that much of fees, if you want a discount, we are ready to help you. It's not like we are ignoring you. We will take care of every student. All right, thank you guys, thank you for your attention. I hope this session gave you some valuable insights, how the raw data becomes information, and how the database plays crucial role while converting these things. Remember one thing, the skills that you will learn today are not just academic. They are the tools that you use to solve the real world problems while you are working. Are you getting? Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, or if you want to explore more about these topics, we will give a reference to you. Thank you so much for attending the class.